If you are taking Amlodipine, Losartan, or Lisinopril, I need you to stop what you are doing and listen carefully. Millions of people over 60 are waking up every morning, reaching for their pill organizer, and taking these medications exactly as prescribed. They trust their doctor, they trust the system, and yet they find themselves in my consultation room feeling dizzy, confused, exhausted, or suffering from persistent nagging symptoms that their medical team insists are just part of getting older. I am here to tell you that is a lie. The reality is that your blood pressure medication does not exist in a vacuum. Every single day, you are likely consuming things, simple, innocent things that are interacting with your prescription in ways that could be silently damaging your heart, your kidneys, or your blood vessel lining. Your 7-minute appointment is simply not long enough for your doctor to walk you through these interactions.
They don't have the time to explain the complex chemical dance happening inside your body when you pair a blood pressure drug with a common over-the-counter painkiller, a potassium supplement, or even a glass of certain fruit juices. If you have ever felt that your medication is working against you rather than for you, you are not imagining it. You are reacting to a biological reality that is rarely discussed in the sterile, fast-paced environment of a standard medical checkup. Today, we are going to break the silence. I am going to show you exactly how Amlodipine, Losartan, and Lisinopril behave in a body that has lived for more than 6 decades, and why the standard warnings on your pill bottle are barely scratching the surface of what you actually need to know to stay safe. Before we dive into the science, if you are finding this information valuable, do me one favor. Hit that like button right now.
It takes 1 second, but it tells YouTube that this information is essential, helping it reach other people over 60 who need to hear it just as badly as you do. If you have a spouse, a sibling, a friend, anyone over 60 in your life, share this video with them before you finish watching. What I'm about to share could genuinely change the outcome of their health and make the world a safer place for our aging population. And if you are not yet subscribed to this channel, subscribe to Dr. Victor right now. Every single week, I bring you the medical information your 7-minute appointment does not have time to deliver. I am here to be your advocate, to strip away the confusion and to give you the full, unfiltered picture of your cardiovascular health. Are you ready to see what is really happening inside your body? Let's get started.
Now that we understand why these medications can feel like a double-edged sword, let's talk about the first major category of interactions that your 7-minute appointment almost certainly skipped: the potassium conflict. If you are on Lisinopril, a very common ACE inhibitor, your body's handling of potassium changes drastically. Normally, your kidneys are excellent at balancing your internal minerals, but Lisinopril works by inhibiting a specific hormone that usually tells your kidneys to excrete potassium. When you take this drug, your body naturally tends to hold on to more potassium than it normally would. Now, consider the advice you have likely heard for years: eat more bananas, oranges, and leafy greens for a healthy heart. While that is sound advice for the general population, it can be a recipe for trouble if you are on an ACE inhibitor like Lisinopril or an ARB like Losartan. Many of my patients have diligently added these potassium-rich foods to their diet, only to find themselves experiencing muscle weakness, heart palpitations, or a general feeling of malaise. They blame the medication or they blame their age, but in reality, they are experiencing mild hyperkalemia, a state where your blood potassium levels climb dangerously high because your medication is preventing your body from getting rid of the excess. And it doesn't stop at whole foods. You must be hyper-aware of salt substitutes. Many of these products are essentially concentrated potassium chloride. If you are trying to cut sodium by switching to a salt substitute while taking an ACE inhibitor, you are effectively loading your system with a mineral it currently cannot process efficiently. It is a classic good intention, bad outcome scenario. But this isn't just about what you are eating. It is about how these interactions damage your kidneys over time. Remember, your kidneys and your blood pressure are in a constant conversation. When your potassium levels are chronically elevated, it places an unnecessary silent stress on your renal function. You may not feel this damage immediately, but it is the kind of cumulative stress that erodes your long-term health. This is why, as a doctor, I find the one-size-fits-all dietary advice so dangerous for seniors. You are not a 40-year-old. Your biology is unique. When you are managing your cardiovascular health, you need to understand exactly how your specific prescription interacts with the specific nutrients on your plate. If this is already helping you connect the dots between your diet and your symptoms, please share this video with your family or friends. They may be unknowingly putting themselves at risk by following outdated generic advice. By sharing this, you are helping someone else avoid a preventable complication.
And if you have questions about your specific diet, drop a comment below. I read as many as I can to better understand what you are going through. Let's keep moving forward. There is so much more to uncover about how to truly protect your heart. Now let's talk about a silent threat that sits innocently in your kitchen: grapefruit. If you are taking Amlodipine for your blood pressure, this is not just a dietary preference, it is a critical safety issue. Amlodipine is a calcium channel blocker, and it is metabolized in your liver by a specific enzyme called CYP3A4. Grapefruit contains compounds known as furanomericins that effectively turn off this enzyme. When that enzyme is blocked, your liver can no longer process the amlodipine at the speed your body expects. The medication begins to accumulate in your bloodstream at levels far higher than your doctor intended. This is not just a mild fluctuation, it is a drug overdose scenario occurring in your own home. You might experience a sudden dangerous drop in blood pressure, leading to lightheadedness, severe headaches, or even fainting spells that could result in a fall. Many of my patients tell me, "Dr. Victor, I've had half a grapefruit for breakfast for 20 years, and that is exactly the problem. Your body at 65 is not metabolizing that fruit the same way it did at 45. The interaction is cumulative, and the danger lies in the unpredictability. One day you feel fine. The next you are experiencing erratic heart rates or unexplained swelling in your ankles, which is a known side effect of amlodipine that grapefruit intake can exacerbate significantly. You need to understand that this isn't just about grapefruit juice. It is about the potency of the chemical reaction. If you are on amlodipine, my advice is simple. Replace the grapefruit with oranges or berries, which do not trigger this specific liver enzyme blockade. It is a small change in your grocery list, but it is a massive change in your safety profile. This is the level of detail that gets lost in a standard medical chart. If you are unaware that a piece of fruit could essentially alter your dosage, you are not alone, but you are now informed. If you found this specific warning valuable, please take a second to hit that like button. It is a simple signal that helps me prioritize these hidden medical dangers in future videos. And if you have a friend who enjoys their morning grapefruit, send this to them today. You might save them from a trip to the emergency room. We must address the evening wind down. Many of my patients enjoy a glass of wine with dinner or a cocktail to relax, assuming it's harmless. However, when you are taking blood pressure medication, you are altering your body's ability to regulate its own vascular tone. Both amlodipine and lisinopril work by relaxing your blood vessels, a process called vasodilation. Alcohol is also a vasodilator. When you combine them, you are essentially doubling up on the relaxation effect, which can lead to a sudden precipitous drop in blood pressure. This is why, after that evening drink, you might suddenly feel dizzy upon standing or notice an unsettling thumping in your chest as your heart tries to compensate for the rapid change in pressure. Alcohol pushes them further, often beyond what your cardiovascular system can comfortably handle. Furthermore, alcohol can act as a diuretic, dehydrating you and concentrating the medication levels in your bloodstream. This creates a volatile cycle. You take your medication, have a drink, become dehydrated, and then your blood pressure levels begin to fluctuate erratically, making your readings unpredictable the next morning. If you notice that your good blood pressure readings suddenly spike or drop after a night where you've had a drink, you are likely seeing the direct result of this interaction.
I am not telling you that you must live a life of total restriction, but you must be aware of the medication-alcohol gap. If you choose to enjoy a drink, keep it moderate. Space it well away from your dosage time and prioritize hydration. Are you noticing these shifts after your evening glass?
Please share your experience in the comments below. It helps our community of seniors understand the common patterns we often overlook. If this information helps you reclaim control, hit that like button to spread the word. Now, let's turn our attention to the most deceptive trap in your kitchen: heart-healthy processed foods. You are likely trying to do the right thing. You read labels, you avoid the salt shaker, and you choose items labeled as low-fat or heart-friendly to support your blood pressure goals. However, the food industry uses a clever trick.
When they remove the fat to make a product healthy, they often replace it with massive amounts of sodium to maintain flavor and texture. This is a critical issue for anyone on Lisinopril or Losartan. These medications are already working to balance your fluid levels and protect your kidneys. When you consume hidden high-sodium foods, you are essentially fighting against your own prescription. High sodium intake forces your body to retain more water, which increases your blood volume. This puts direct unnecessary pressure on your arterial walls, the very thing your medication is trying to prevent. I often see patients who take their medication faithfully, yet their blood pressure remains stubbornly high. When we dig into their daily intake, we find the culprit: canned soups, low-fat salad dressings, store-bought marinades, or even certain brands of whole wheat bread that are surprisingly packed with sodium.
You are essentially taking a step forward with your medication and a step back with your lunch. To take control, you need to become a label detective. Ignore the front of the box. The marketing language is designed to sell, not to protect your health. Always flip the product over and look specifically at the sodium content per serving. Even if a product is heart healthy, if one serving contains more than 300 to 400 milligrams of sodium, it is a danger to your cardiovascular balance. By identifying and eliminating these hidden sodium bombs, you allow your medication to actually do the job it was prescribed for. This isn't about eating bland food. It is about choosing real whole ingredients that don't sabotage your heart. If this realization about heart-healthy labels changes how you shop this week, hit the like button. It helps me know that we are hitting the topics that matter most. And if you know someone who thinks they are eating healthy but still struggles with high blood pressure, please share this video with them. You might be the reason they finally find the missing piece to their health puzzle. Are you ready to move on to the next hidden factor? We must address a staple of the morning routine that many of my patients treat as harmless: coffee. While caffeine is a powerful antioxidant, its effect on your blood pressure, especially if you are already managing it with medication, is a factor that is frequently ignored. Caffeine is a stimulant that triggers a temporary but significant surge in your heart rate and blood pressure. When you are on medications like Amlodipine, your heart is working in a delicate, chemically regulated state. When you introduce a strong dose of caffeine, you create a tugafoire inside your cardiovascular system.
The medication is trying to keep your vessels dilated and your pressure controlled, while the caffeine is acting as a vasoconstrictor, signaling your body to tighten those vessels and pump harder. This clash can lead to that midday crash or the jittery, anxious feeling that many seniors mistake for just being tired. It is not just about the stimulant effect, it is about the timing. If you consume large amounts of coffee shortly before or after taking your blood pressure medication, you may be blunting the effectiveness of your morning dose. For some, this interaction is enough to cause those unexplained spikes in blood pressure readings that leave your doctor puzzled at your next checkup. I am not asking you to give up your morning cup, but you must be strategic. If you are sensitive to caffeine, try to space your coffee consumption at least 2 to 3 hours away from your medication time.
This simple adjustment allows your body to absorb the medicine without the added stress of a stimulant. Have you noticed your blood pressure reading higher after your morning brew? Pay attention to that pattern. If this tip helps you stabilize your daily numbers, hit that like button to let me know. Sharing this video could help someone else identify why their steady medication feels inconsistent. There is a dangerous misconception that because something is labeled natural or herbal, it is safe to mix with your prescription medications. Many of my patients walk into my office taking a cocktail of supplements: Ginoaloba, St. John's wort, or even excessive ginseng, without realizing these are biologically active agents that behave like drugs. Certain supplements, particularly St. John's wort, can induce liver enzymes that speed up the metabolism of your medication, effectively clearing it out of your system before it has the chance to work.
Conversely, some herbal supplements can interfere with your heart's electrical signaling or exacerbate the effects of amlodipine, leading to unpredictable drops in